Hey everyone, Ryan coming back at you here with a little bit of a unique mail day. I just got one thing that I've been waiting for almost 8 years. Came in the mail today. 8 years. It's not an exaggeration. And then I have a really unique piece that a local buddy of mine gave to me here recently. I just wanted to share with you guys. I thought it was really neat. Family related. Family's number one in my world, so I'm excited to share that with you guys. And then later tonight, I have a free night, so I'm going to organize my basement right now. And I'm going to do a showcase video of that before the end of the week right now. I just got boxes everywhere because after we moved, I didn't take everything out, and I'm trying to work through that right now. But first order of business, and it was just announced like literally right before I made this video, so I'm very excited to share this. But Joe Maddon, you know, he opted out of his contract early with the Rays. You know what he did with that organization, which was pretty rich in prospects when he got to the Rays, took him to the World Series. Seems like a really cool, chill manager, but like, you know, his team generally respects him, and he seems like he provides results, and he was just hired by the Chicago Prospects R Us. I'm kidding, the Chicago Cubs. My favorite team, hands down. I'm very excited to have him on board. Very, very, very good pickup as a coach, and I'm very excited for what's happening next year. More so now because look what I got in the mail. Don't be left on the outside when, with the W for the win, when it happens. I've been on the waiting list for Chicago Cubs season tickets. Now, granted, I live in Indianapolis. I'm a 3-hour drive, but I try to go to Chicago about 4 or 5 times a year, just because it's an awesome city. If I wasn't living in Indianapolis, I'd really ideally like to live in Chicago or Denver or San Diego. But Chicago. I have a deep-rooted love of Chicago, and it's a manageable day drive. But, Ryan, your number has been called by Chicago Cubs for season tickets. I have to let them know anywhere between early registration is November the 7th. But basically, I am eligible for season tickets. First come, first serve. But once training camp happens, I'm off the list again. So I've been waiting for this for about 7.5 years. Me and the wife have a lot of chatting to do, but that's the first thing I wanted to show you guys today. Very excited about that. Very excited about Joe Maddon, and excited for Game 7 tonight, man. I don't have a vested interest in either team, obviously. I'm always kind of pulling for the Cinderella, which they both kind of are this year. They're both wildcard teams that backed into the playoffs, and tip of the cap to all of them for their efforts to get to Game 7 and Game 7 in the World Series. Doesn't get much better than that for as many games as they play in the regular season. It's crazy that this one game is going to determine it all. But they're giving the fans a hell of a show, and I'm kind of pulling for the Royals because, let's be honest, as a Cubs fan, I empathize with all these people who haven't seen championship in more than 2 decades. So, moving on to this other cool family piece over here in the corner, and then I'm off for the day. Okay, now like I said, the next part of my video is really kind of family-based. This card right here signifies somebody that's in my family lineage. What I want to do is, I come from a really big family on both sides of my family and very, very interesting backgrounds. And I would implore to you, if you don't already, dub yourself as your family historian. And I really do suggest that you go out and dig up as much. It's really interesting to know where you came from, and it helps you actually appreciate where you're at now and how you're going to grow as a person and move forward, I think. But be your family historian. And one of the most interesting people in my dad's bloodline happens to be my great-great-great-grandfather, Glenn Curtis, with the 2 S's. People give me crap all the time and spell it with 1, but I'm like, no, it's like Glenn Curtis, the father of aviation in a lot of ways, and a lot of people know about the Wright brothers, but they stole a lot of credit from him, and you can find that in the history books, what they don't tell you, but a lot of the original war planes and things like this, and bicycles and motorcycles were engineered by this man right here, Glenn Curtis. Yeah, awesome. Well, one of my local buddies, I'm kind of a cardboard consultant with him, but his name's Dave, really great friend of mine. He and I talk cards daily, and we trade and we buy, sell, trade together and stuff. Really good time. He's been in the hobby for a long time, and I spent a lot of time. He lives about an hour away from me, and he surprised me before I went on vacation. He did a lot of research too on my last name, and instead of getting me a card to like pay me back for all my efforts, I mean, he's done that in the past, but he got something custom made for me, which I thought was crazy. Here you go. Hold on. He got this framed, and he did a little one-of-one action on it, but he did some research, and he said this would be a great quote for my business. It is hard enough for anyone to map out a course of action and stick to it, particularly in the face of desires of one's friends. But it is doubly hard for an aviator to stay on the ground waiting for just the right moment to go up in the air. Glenn Curtis. And then on all the motorcycles and prop planes and things like this, he found this through the museum's website. He has a museum in New York. And they put those on all their motorcycles and planes and things like that now, and he got that added on here. And oh man, I could talk about this for hours. There's so much history behind Glenn Curtis and the Wright brothers. But this was a piece of their stock from back in the day, which was a Wednesday. And I thought this was just such a cool freaking piece. And then he gave me this card too, which I didn't know Goodwin Champions had made. But yeah, it's just really dark in here. Sorry for that. But I just wanted to share this, and I mean, he's probably one of the more significant figures in my history. I've dug so deep on both sides. I'm trying to be my own family historian and keep really neat artifacts where I can. But this is from my buddy Dave. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Hi, I'm waving in the background. But really cool piece. So we got Glenn Curtis, that dapper man right there, a quote of his, and some stock. He got it framed, and then he got it unframed just so he could do the one-of-one. Because our main bond, as most of us are on here, is through cards. This is where he and I met. But now it is much more than cards. Our friendship goes much, much deeper than cards. So that's all I have for you guys today. Go Cubs. Go Curtis with 2 S's. 2 S's, baby. That's where it's at. Hope you guys are having a great week. And I'll be talking to you soon. Deuces.